Hi, my name is Norma and welcome to episode 2 of Norma's Designer Diaries. So today is my birthday and I've never recorded an episode on my birthday, but I thought I could share because I'm not very busy today. I'm taking it slow and I'm here trying to record just a quick episode because I'm starting on the spring and summer collection soon. So I wanted to get it over and done with as far as the winter items are concerned and have the episode separately today so that next week or maybe the week after, if I'm not making much progress, I can record the summer and the spring items and not show any of the things that I'm showing here today. So let's get started with what I have today. First of all, I'm wearing the Mufunwa top. I launched this pattern 2 years ago, so that was 2023. It's a sleeveless summer top worked from the top down, and it's knit with nurturing fibers, eco cotton. The colors are olive and vanilla. So this is a very simple and straightforward pattern, and it comes in quite a number of sizes. I think it's 10 or 11 sizes. And one good thing about such simple patterns is that you can modify it so many ways. So as you can see here, it's thick stripes and thinner stripes, but you can work the stripes the same size as the smaller band in the color vanilla, or you can do some color blocking and work the top part in a separate color and the bottom one in a different one as well. And the other thing that you can do is to knit it plain. I think one of my testers had a plain one. I'm not so sure anymore, but I think there was one person who did a plain one. And the other thing, you can also do very thin stripes. You can change the size of your stripes whichever way you want. So with this one pattern, you can literally do 10 or 20 different variations on it. The other thing that I love about thicker summer tops is that I don't have to worry about the bra straps. So that's one issue I think that a lot of knitters have with some really cute tops that we make, and then you realize that it's not bra strap friendly and you have to wear some strapless bras and everything. So when I designed this top, I wanted some really thick band on the shoulders so that you don't have to worry about the bra not fitting well. And you can even wear this, I think, with a light blazer in the workplace if it's necessary. I'll be sharing some photos of this top and the way I've worn it in the past. I've worn it with skirts and I've worn it with linen pants, and it has worked just fine. So let's get started on what I have been working on this past 2 weeks. I think I last recorded 2 weeks ago. So every birthday I share a new pattern, and mostly it's either something that's got a unique technique that I've never done before, like the T-sets or cardigan. It was a waterfall cardigan and a very interesting construction, and I did that I think 2021. I launched it in 2021. And then I've also done a super bulky cardigan, the Wontle cardigan. That was the first one, I think 2020, when I started doing this birthday series of patterns. And I'd never designed a garment using super bulky yarn, and it was a very interesting one creatively, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I still wear it and enjoy it, particularly in the fall. That's when it comes in very handy. So I've done quite a number of patterns. I'll share them with you as we go along. But for this year, I did the Nyezi Pullover. Okay, so please forgive my neck band. We're doing the photo shoot on Friday, and I just realized now that I left some makeup on it. I think when I was taking it off, I didn't use my shawl that I normally use, my scarf, to cover my face and protect the top, so it's got a bit of some makeup on it. Okay, so this is the Nyezi Pullover. I'll put some photos on so you can see it more clearly. And this is the back part. So it starts here with the stitches for the back neck, and the increases are worked down on the side, and you work all the way down here, and that's the back, and then you work the front. So the front starts somewhere here at the back. You pick up the stitches here on this line and work all the way to the point where you do your neck shaping, and then you join the fronts when you've done the other side, work down, join in the round, and work all the way down. So when I was working on this pullover, I worked to a certain point, I think about an inch or two, then I did the sleeves. When I was doing the sleeves, I wanted the cuffs to be this thick, to be this long, to really give it that cozy feel. But when I was working on the body, I realized that I didn't want to make the bottom hem as thick as this. Somehow it just didn't feel like it was going to look great, because this yarn is very thick and quite heavy, and I felt it wasn't going to look so good. So on this pattern, I'm using Purl Soho Plenty, and the color is ash gray. And as I've mentioned before, all the Purl Soho yarn that I use is sponsored. Okay, so as you can see, this pattern has an all over textured body. So initially when I was working on this is the stitch that I was swatching, that I wanted to do. But then I noticed that the wrong side then actually looked great, and I liked it more. So I ended up sticking to the wrong side, which is now the right side of this pullover. And I made it oversized, and it fits really well, and it's such a relaxed fit. I can't wait to wear it this winter. So as always, when I do these pattern releases on my birthday, the discount is the number of years that I've reached. So this one is going to be 40% off. And as always, I also include the designs from previous years. So there's the Zazi coat from last year, and then there's the Londiwe pullover, and then there's the Lubanzi pullover, and the Tisetso cardigan, and the Wontle cardigan. So those are the 5 patterns that will be discounted. You can get them for 40% off, no coupon code required, on Etsy and on Ravelry. So the offer is available. I think I've put that down already. I've done my newsletter. I think it's going to be available until 28 February on Friday. So you can use this offer on these 5 patterns, 40% off, no coupon code required. You just check it out on Ravelry and Etsy, and you get your discount code. So on Ravelry, I've got a buy 3 get 1 free. I think you buy 3 and then you get the 4th one free. So if you want more than 3 of those patterns, I'll suggest that you check them out separately. Maybe you do 2 on separate cards or 2 on the other card, so that that offer does not override this one, because I think this is a better offer when you're looking at the discount code that is pretty high. So if you want more than 3 patterns, just do separate cards on Ravelry, so that the buy 3 and get the 4th one free discount does not override the 40% discount. So yeah, that's it on these patterns of that I launch every birthday. Now I'll talk about the hats that I've been working on. So I've finished 4 out of the 6 hats, and remember, I'm doing 5 patterns, but these 2 are going to be in the same pattern. So I don't have names yet for these hat patterns. I was thinking that I'll just come up with the names when I'm done with all of them, so that they can be kind of cohesive, and I can just come up with the name that reflects on the hats as a collection more than just individual patterns. So I'm still trying to think and figure out what's the best name that I can come up with. So the first 2, these are going to be one pattern because it's the same design. The exception is that this one is striped and the other one is plain, and the difference here is also on the band, on the headband. And because this one is just a single color, you just knit straight up, you don't have to worry about folding it. But here, because of the striping, I had to do this step. I had to start with a provisional cast on and then work all the way until the length of the headband was, not headband, sorry, of the headband was double, and meaning that I could now join here to form this double layered fabric. And then when you're folding it like this, it looks neat and tidy. You don't get to see these lines where the strands of yarn are kept up. So even if I wasn't holding them like this, you'll still be breaking the yarn and doing your weaving in, so it won't be neat either way. But when you do it like this and you have this double edge, it creates this very neat hat, as you can see, and all the sides look actually very good. So this is going to be a single pattern. And then the next one is also another ribbed hat. So I did this the same construction as this one here. Reason being that if I hadn't done it that way, when you fold your hat, it was going to look like this. You'll have this wrong side showing on your right side when you fold the brim of your hat. But because I did that provisional cast on and folded it double, now the hat looks like this. It looks the same whether the brim is folded or not, and the same as the body and the crown of the hat. So if you want to just wear it like this without folding and you want it to be a bit slouchy, it still looks good because you still have the side showing. This is knit. Oh, I forgot to mention those two hats. So these are knit with cowgirl blues, and the colors are silver fox and natural. So the off-white is natural, the gray is silver fox. And then this one is knit with Bare Naked Wools by Knit Sport, and the yarn is Better Breakfast Worsted. The color is Daybreak. So this is pattern number 2. And then the third pattern in the collection, I actually cast this on, knit it and finished since the last episode. So I think I only shared this on Instagram. So this is the third hat, and it's pink and bright. So I've done so many gray hats and I needed something pink and bright. So this yarn is Miss Lamotte, and it's the DK weight. I think it's the DK Lux. I've forgotten the color because I ordered this yarn, I think it was 2019, or no, not 2019, it was 2020, just after the lockdown, when we could actually order and buy stuff. I was buying very colorful yarns then, so that's how I kind of remember the dates, but I don't remember the color, and I've never knit or used this yarn, so I'll have to go back to my invoices and check the color, and then I'll include it in the description box below. So this is worked from the top down. I wasn't sure of how I wanted to do the brim, so I decided to start working on it from the top down and to determine how long I wanted the hat. So it's worked from the top down, and then the increases are worked to this point, and the body is worked down. So when I got here, I decided to do the 1 by 1 ribbing when you get to the brim, and then I turned the work inside out and did the, so as you can see, this was how I was knitting up to this point, and then I turned the work and started working with the work facing this way instead, so I could do the stockinette section. When you fold, when you're done and you fold, so all this is going to be clarified on the instructions. I think my explanation may not necessarily make that much sense, but it will on the instructions of the pattern. So when you're holding it the right way round, you have the stockinette section here on the brim, and you also have it on the body, so the ribbing doesn't show through on the other side, but the ribbing keeps the head nice and tight. It really feels good on the head. It's snug, but when you're looking at it, you're only seeing the stockinette section. So I need to block this again because it keeps folding up on me. I think I unpacked it nicely. So I also added a pom-pom because this is a playful hat, I think. So when I was designing it, I was looking for something relaxed and playful, and I think this is the best time to use your speckled yarns or your variegated yarns, because it's very straight and it's very plain and straightforward, and the stockinette stitch kind of shows off the yarn, and all the colors can actually pop out. So if you've got that DK weight skein, I think you need slightly more than one skein. So if you've got that DK weight yarn, this is the perfect project to just, get it going with some hat pattern. And it will come in handy on those super cold days when you're wearing dark clothes, maybe black pants and a black coat or something, and you put on this colorful hat. I wish I could try it on, but it probably won't sit properly with the way I've tied my hair. So I I did the shoot on these ones as well, but I haven't received the photos yet, but I'll share them on Instagram and hopefully on some future episodes. So far 3 patterns have been done on this. The 4th one is taking a bit long, and rightfully so. So this is the 4th head pattern. I've got this marking where I actually added the increases. So this is going to be double layered. I think I'm almost close to the point where the head can actually be a head on its own, and with the folded brim. I think I need about 5 centimeters, and then I'll use this color instead. Initially I had some gray that I wanted to use, but I realized there's too much gray already, and I don't have a gray coat at the moment. I've got black. It could work with black if I had done gray and black, but most of my coats are either camel, beige, or some shades of brown. So I thought this would be a much better fit. But what I've decided to do with this hat, let me just stretch it a bit so you can see the ribbing. So it has some uneven ribbing. There's some 2 by 2 by 4 by 2, so it's kind of some mixed up ribbing. I wanted to give it that look that you get from a store-bought hat. So this is how it looks, and I'm knitting this on 2.75 millimeter needles, so it's taking a while, but it's such a relaxing knit. And I've decided to work from the crown, the body, and the brim, and then I've also decided to work the portion of the brim with the black as well, so that the only part I'll work with this color is just the head and the crown, so that even when you fold the head on the black side, you can still see the black part of the head. I wanted it to be something that I can wear with literally everything in my wardrobe. And then the cream, the beige, not the cream, the beige can actually be the head part, but the brim is going to be black when I'm wearing it on the other side. So once I'm done with the rest of the black section, I'll do this and then do the crown. So it's going to be double layered and super warm. And I like the fact that it's actually knitted on these super small needles, and it didn't take as much time as I thought it would. I think the last time I recorded I was somewhere here, and I've managed to do quite a bit in the time being. And I only knit on this hat when I'm doing school runs, or we're outside of the house and we're running around, or we're in the car. But it's really moved quite fast on these smaller needles. And on this pattern I'm using Miss Lamotte yarns. This is Twist Sock in the color Nightmare. So it's not exactly black, but it's a very dark gray that looks quite black. So this is going to be the 4th pattern in the collection. And then the last one is going to be a headband. I'd mentioned that before, and I've only started it. I haven't made much progress. I might change some things along the way, I'm not sure yet, but let me just show you what I have. I've got this portion done, so there's a provisional cast on. So this is how I'm going to be wearing this. This looks kind of crazy. So this is how it's going to go. It's going to be double layered, as you can see. So I'll be doing some decreases as we get closer to the ear. In the center, I'll be doing some center decreases and some ties at the back. And the reason being, I want the size to be kind of flexible. So if maybe you've got your hair tied down like I've done, you can actually tie it tighter and still have enough length left. And then if you've got maybe your hair up, or if I decide to do some braids, then I'll still have a big enough headband. I just want it to be flexible, so I'm doing it this way. Initially I thought of double knitting this instead of knitting it in the round, but I wasn't sure how the decreases were going to look when I get to the ear section, and I wanted to taper off, so I decided not to do it that way. So this idea came from some kids' headbands I saw, I think it was 2 years ago, at the mall in one of the shops, and I liked it. It wasn't there for the adults, so I decided that I'll do it myself. So I'm knitting this one in African Expressions Joy, and the color is 1044, I think. The red is 1044. So I'm hoping to make some progress on this, and it's a great travel project whenever we're moving around as well. So I'm not sure when this will be done, but it will have to be in the next few days, because these patterns are going to be tested starting this week, and I'll be launching them end of March. So yeah, there's going to be some serious pattern writing, testing, and everything else. So the last item that is currently on my needles is also part of the spring collection. I started working on it much earlier because of the thickness of the yarn. I didn't want to launch it a little late because it's quite thick and warm. It's an Aran weight yarn. So as much as it is a spring design, it's knitted with very thick yarn. So I don't know about the rest of you wherever you are in the world, but here in South Africa our weather is quite mild. It's not really that bad. Even our winters, I think in the past 2 years or so, we've had very few overcast days in the winter. It can be really quite cold, but it's bright and blue and it looks clear. So, but spring can be quite cold. So mostly when we get to spring, we're always thinking we're not wearing winter stuff anymore. We want to, wear the sleeveless stuff. But our spring is cold. It's almost as cold as the winter, really. So I've noticed that there was some stuff missing in my wardrobe, because for spring I would just do the fingering weight items and short-sleeved pieces. But then I noticed that our spring is quite cold, and it will be nice to have something that's really thick and warm, but that doesn't look too winterish. So this cardigan is knit with African Expressions Harmony. This color is 2000. Yeah, that's the color code, because they don't use color names, they use color codes. So this is 2000 and the black is 2081. So this is how it looks so far. And then it's a saddle shoulder cardigan. This is my first saddle shoulder pattern. I've knit saddle shoulder items before, but there were other people's designs, and this is the first time I'm designing one. And it's got a very modern look. I'm already starting on the hem. Okay, is this called the hem, by the way? Yeah, I think so. So the ripping is going to be quite big. It's going to be 4 inches or slightly more. I'll see how much I want to do when I'm getting there. And then the bind off and the last 2 rows or so are going to be done in black. And then the sleeves are set in. So now, I've done quite a number of drop shoulder patterns, but this one is going to be some satin sleeve, as you can see, and these stitches are on hold from the saddle shoulder shaping here. So I'll have to unravel them when I'm picking up the stitches for the sleeves and work on the sleeve. I think the next time I record, I'll probably be working on the first sleeve, or hopefully I would have finished it if I really sit down and focus. So the button band is going to be a double knitted one. I think it will give it that knit spring look, because I want this to be something you can wear with any summer item. I want it to be a cardigan you can wear with a flowy skirt, or with those, the current fashion of those satin skirts, whether it's the plain ones or it's the pleated ones. I just want it to be something that can be worn with those kind of outfits, or with linen pants. So I hope this works the way I envisioned it. So the sleeves are going to also have some striping, and the cuffs will also have the black edging as the hem of the cardigan. So this is part of the spring collection, but I started on it, as I said, some time back, because I wanted to launch it earlier than the other items, since it's a very thick one and it could come in handy for those that are getting into spring soon. Yeah, so that's it. And then I briefly spoke about these patterns, these last 2 items. on the last episode, but I wanted to speak a bit about them because you won't be seeing them anytime soon. So these ones are currently hibernating. This pullover, I really love this, and I'm enjoying working on it, but in the past week I've decided to put it on hold. I started the sleeve, and then I realized I didn't like it because I'd only used this portion of the pattern but not the braid over here. So now there was too many of these filler stitches which I didn't like, so I'll include the braid, which will take quite a portion because it's 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then the 2 stitches. So the braid will take up all these extra stitches, and then the decreases will be on these ones, which is quite good because I think that's all that I might need to decrease and not the braid stitches, so it will be fine. I want it to be fully capely and not too plain. Or if there's, okay, let me see, no, I'll just have to do the braid. Yeah, so I think I'll have to start on the sleeve again, probably sometime in June, because I'm focusing on the summer items now. I think the biggest problem with designing spring and summer items is that some of the season feels shorter than the fall winter seasons. Spring and summer kind of feel like they move too fast and they quickly become so irrelevant. You know, there's nothing as stressful as finding yourself still working on this type of top and it's already mid to end of July, and you realize that, you know what, I can't launch this pattern this year because by the time I'm done with pattern writing, having it tech edited and testing, it will be mid-August, and just the writing and the test and the finishing up tech editing. So if someone is going to start testing in August, that means it will only be ready end of September, maybe early October even, if there are any challenges with the pattern. So I've decided in the past few years that if I'm working on summer items, the last items have to be done beginning of June. That's the latest I can do, so that testing can be done maybe to the end of June or beginning of July, and those are the last weeks of launching such. And then from August, that's when I start launching light fall items that will actually be relevant, because I don't know how people plan their knitting, but I always assume that you'd want to knit something before the season starts, or at the least right at the beginning of the season, so that you can actually wear it in time and have time to finish it before the season is actually over. So for us here in the Southern Hemisphere, there are fewer knitters, so even as a designer, my designs are based on the Northern Hemisphere. And so right now I was busy working on the winter items, so my winter wardrobe has already been taken care of, and whilst I'm starting on some summer items now and working on the spring items, I'm only going to wear them later in the year. So I try to make sure that there's enough time for the next person who wants to knit the pattern to actually knit it before they are well into the season. So when I was working on this, I realized that there's no way I was going to finish it, test it, tech edit it before May even. Because if I'm still at this point and I now have to start on the sleeve again, that will take a lot of time. But more than anything, it will take up the time for me to design stuff that's actually relevant for the upcoming seasons. So that's why I had to put it on hold, even though I was enjoying it a lot. It was actually a difficult decision. Mostly I just throw stuff aside, but this time I wanted to finish this because I think it was going to come in handy when we got to winter. And then there's this wrap cardigan. I've been working on this for a while. I've put it on hold once and I'm doing it again. So it's a half fisherman rib cardigan. I like this detail at the back here on the shaping. But one mistake I made, okay, it wasn't really a mistake. I think with this type of stitch pattern and creating a wrap cardigan is really a matter of trial and error. But when I started, I was doing increases a bit more rapidly, and even though I tried to slow it down here, I noticed that I was getting to the other side super fast. You see, with with the rapes, I'm not sure how I can show this. It's now already here. So by the time I get to the desired length, it will be way past this point. And the whole point was to make sure that it doesn't get to that point whilst I'm still wrapping. So I have to do less frequent increases on this pattern. So that means on both fronts, okay, I had already joined in the round. So that means I have to unravel this small section. It's not much, it's probably around an inch. And then I have to go back on each side to this point where I started the increases. So to some point somewhere here. I think if I do that, then I can start the more gradual increases so that when I get to the desired length, because it's going to be quite cropped, when I get to the desired length, I still have a bit of some space left for me to do the final increase that's going to be straight. So this one is going to be on hold because it needs to be fixed. But mostly with patterns where I want to frog a section, I normally do it when I'm not actually working on the pattern. So what I'll do, I'll frog this sometime in the next week or so. Take photos first so I'll remember why I did it, and then frog to those points so that when I pick it up it doesn't feel like I'm going backwards. I'll just be starting from these points and it won't be as stressful as it is to just frog and then start knitting on it immediately. So that's what I'll be doing. So yesterday I shared a reel where I was showing one of the first projects that I'm working on for the spring. It's a cotton pullover, and it's something I've wanted to do for the past 2 years. So the reason why I wanted to do that is because here spring tends to be very cold and summer can be quite cold because our summers are wet and hot. So we get most of the rain during the summer months. So if it's raining, it gets a bit chilly, but it's not that cold that I could wear something this thick. So I decided to do a cotton pullover this time around, and it's striped. Playing around with the stripes. I'll explain more when I do the next recording, which is going to be maybe in a week and a half or so. Today it's Monday, so I think I'll be recording next Wednesday or latest on Friday, so I can share what I've started on the spring collection already. So I'm working on that using the Eco Cotton yarn, which is a DK weight cotton, and it's nice and cool to the touch when it's a bit warm, so you can wear it and really feel comfortable even in those days when it's not super cold and it's just a bit chilly because of the rains or some changes in temperatures. I'm working on quite a number of items for the spring collection. I've even come up with a name for the collection, which I've never done before, so I'm really excited about this, and I'll be sharing all that information on the next episode. I'll also be sharing the types of garments and tops that I'm planning to design. So the period is very short. I've already started and it's February, but I've only probably got March, April, May, and a bit of June. Usually with June it could be just sleeveless tops and just for the first half of June. Beyond that is the fall and the winter items that'll be on my needles. So the period to design the summer items is quite short, and I'm glad I started early this year. I normally hang on to the winter items for so long and only start working on the summer stuff in April, and by then there won't be so much time. So in the last year I think I only designed and launched 4 summer tops, which was way less than what I had in mind and what I had planned. But this year I'm trying to start quite early because we have more summer, not more summer months because the seasons are divided the same with everyone, but basically we've got more warmer days than colder days in South Africa, and I've realized that I need the summer items more than maybe the winter pullovers and the cardigans. So this year I'm going to do that. I'm boosting my wardrobe, and I'll be sharing more information on that on the next episode. So I won't be showing most of these things here. Maybe I'll just show the headband when I've made progress on it, and if I finish this hat, that's the other thing that I'll show. But otherwise I won't be talking about any winter pieces. It will just be the spring and the summer collection from now onwards until mid June to the end of June, when you'll start seeing more fall pieces and the beginning of some winter projects that will be, for instance, the ones that take much longer to knit. I'll have to start them quite early. So thank you so much for joining me. If you're interested in seeing the rest of my designer journey as far as this spring and summer collection is concerned, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you won't miss any of the episodes that are coming up. So with some items I'll be recording more videos because they work up faster and you get to finish them much faster than the winter pieces. So I look forward to seeing you in the near future. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.